for giving me an opportunity to add some comments to the debate. I want to commend the Minister and his team at the Department of Personal Management for an excellent report and for their tireless efforts in continuing to look at how to best reform this very vital aspect of our government or our nationhood that is responsible for human resources. Just some thoughts in regards to the payroll audit. As the chairman of the Special Parliamentary Committee on Public Sector Reforms that has been driving this particular agenda, I wish to acknowledge and thank the Marpare Rosso government for appointing us via an NEC decision as an oversight entity to be included in all the ministerial meetings, as well as the technical secretariat that's responsible for implementation of the audit recommendations, the Deloitte's audit recommendations. There were 74 recommendations, 11 of which are very urgent. And I wish to thank the Minister. Despite the very slow efforts undertaken within the public sector, I have to say that your persistence is paying off. And now, finally, after almost 2 years, we are seeing the transfer take place. The statistics stated here by Prime Minister, I just want to give additional statistics that are quite frightening. And what happens when we delay in implementing audit reports, the recommendations. In this instance, during this 2-year period, we lost about 26 million kina every fortnight in payroll fraud. That's why it is very important that reports, recommendations of reports, inquiries, etc., are attended to immediately by the relevant organizations, by the relevant departments, by the relevant ministries. And I want to thank the Prime Minister for continuously supporting the Special Parliamentary Committee in summoning the relevant ministers, the heads of departments, the responsible individuals, so that they could pay attention to this very important effort to save money for Papua New Guinea. I mean, 26 million kina a fortnight, you think about that. That's quite a substantial amount of money that could be well used for other matters, health, education, law and order. But anyway, we are finally here. And I thank the good Minister and his team at DPM who have been very, very active in this regard. We are working with DPM now and Public Service Commission to look at what can be done to better improve our efforts to manage our human resource capacity in this government. What can we do to modernize? What can we do so that we are on par with the rest of the region, the rest of the world? Our public sector, I must say, is like a wheelbarrow compared to SUVs that have been driven around the world by other governments. We have to upgrade, we have to modernize. And one way to do that is to support these very important reforms that have been undertaken. I commend the government especially for its efforts in regards to removing the tax on final benefits payouts to public servants. After serving their country, public servants go through a very miserable process of seeing a significant chunk of their entitlements being taken away again. It's a form of punishment, I would say. But I want to commend this government for making the effort to remove that tax, this burden, so that now, after serving their country, a public servant can retire satisfied that he has sufficient funds available to be able to carry on with his life as a private citizen. A few things I wanted to just make mention of here. We have 1,400 government entities in this country. And a very important exercise is needed to carry out a diagnostic rate of return review of all of these entities so that we can find out which are functioning and which are not. And there are a number of them that draw a budget every year. They have boards, they have executives, significant amounts of funds go to these organizations, these obscure organizations that many of us don't even know exist. There are just a hole in our annual budget. And if we were to do a rate of return review of these organizations, we will find that many of them are liabilities, they are not assets. So what we have to do in haste is to identify these organizations and carry out these diagnostic reviews. First and foremost, the diagnostic review should be carried out by the relevant minister. Minister, when you take office, the first thing you do is identify what organizations come under your purview as minister and do a diagnostic, a rapid diagnostic. Do not allow these departments and organizations and entities to compromise you, because they will do that if you're not careful. They'll purchase a vehicle for you, send you to Singapore, accompany you everywhere, be nice to you, buy all the little gadgets that you think you need for yourself and your staff, and all of a sudden you feel you're part of them. And then it becomes very difficult for you to review what they've been doing. So I urge you, take office, first thing you do, conduct a diagnostic review of all those entities that come under you. A rate of return review. What are their benefits to this country and its citizens, for instance? And if you did that, you can recommend that a number of them can be abolished, a number of them can be done away with, a number of them can be merged with other organizations. And here I want to also make a mention of something that, a trend that has been happening since the last, I would say, 20 years, where public servants have developed this passion for creating authorities. And they will carve up an authority from within a ministry and suddenly announce it, and then we have an authority here, an authority there, and most of these authorities are just duplicating the work of other organizations. And many of them, as authorities, are responsible for permits, licenses, carrying out audit, investigation functions. They don't perform those roles and responsibilities efficiently. But they do rush to Waigani to collect the annual budget and spend it often at will and whim. So I want to urge the government, Minister, take note and please drive this agenda of carrying out this very important exercise of these diagnostics. Part of our effort as a responsible government should not be just to go out there and collect as much revenue that is due to this country as possible, but also to look at savings. And one of those savings that we can look at is carrying out this diagnostic review so that we can do away with some of these organizations that aren't performing, that aren't doing anything tangible or beneficial for our country or our citizens. I shall be bringing a report possibly next week on the performance of the Special Parliamentary Committee on Public Sector Reforms. We are assisting the National Monitoring Authority. We are assisting the Department of Personnel Management, and we are also working with the Department of Communication and the Department of Fisheries and Forestry in efforts to look at how we can improve those organizations so that they can better serve Papua New Guinea and Papua New Guineans. Thank you very much.